All right, this is followmetrades.com Real Traders Club live session on Thursday, March 30th, 2023. Into March already. Man, it's moving fast, moving fast. So what's going on in the market right now? Always like to start by looking at the CNBC dashboard. Green, 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 green. Dow's up 0.4%, S&P 500 a little bit more, 0.69, NASDAQ a little bit more than that at 0.86. The headline, Dow pops more than 100 points as traders bet the banking crisis has stabilized. Did I miss something? Was there a banking crisis? They got to sell articles and advertising. And yes, I'm aware of Silicon Valley Bank. We've talked about it pretty much every day, and a couple others. But I challenge the notion that we had a banking crisis. Don't think we did. I think we had a couple banks and then a bit of an overreaction, primarily by the press. But created some trading opportunities for us, so it's okay. And there's, that's the big headline. Ramifications of SVB failure on the Fed turned out positive for the stock market, says Jim Cramer. Well, there we have it. Cramer says it. So let's see who the movers are, just for fun. There's some news I saw on individual companies. Schwab got downgraded. Can you believe it? By another bank. You have to wonder about that, right? Okay, Paycom is up. Look at that. Solar Edge, Philip Morris, Freeport McMillan, AMD. There's a couple articles talking about, hey, we're back to a bull market and it's going to be led by big tech. Okay, if so, we'll trade it in phase. So Solar Edge in phase. There's a bit of a sector thing going on. Carnival up. Carnival, man, we've been watching those. The cruise ships, they are all. So Schwab's down 4% on a downgrade. I think it was Morgan Stanley. Seriously, I still think that's overblown. Schwab's an excellent company, well positioned. A couple of folks have taken leaps on that. I think that's a good play. Match Group, Paychex, Google, Progressive. Yeah, no big kind of groupings or trend there. So tech is up and solar is up. I think is what we take away from looking at the market movers for today. Let's look at the S&P 500 daily chart. We'll get there. So we've been tracking these wedge formations for a couple months. We did it back here. Right here's the wedge that formed, break out to the downside. And what we say is, whichever way it breaks out of this as these wedge forms, that's the direction the momentum typically goes for the short term. So we had a break to the downside there. It was great. Break to the downside there was great. To the upside, we traded that. And then we drew this wedge. And yesterday it broke out. And look at this. 444. Pretty good. S&P 500 up 0.5%. And that breakout, the gap up. Wow. And we are definitely in an uptrend, high, higher, low, high, higher, low, high, higher, low, high. And that is a turnaround from the downtrend that we saw for the beginning of the year. So big picture on S&P 500, big run up from the pandemic, perfect way for a correction, a little choppy. And now on a big picture, it looks like it's heading up. We're above the 200-day moving average. We're above the 50-day moving average. We're above the Ichimoku cloud. Momentum is about to go positive. So, wow, is the correction over? We're heading up, starting to look that way. So the narrative about, the next bull market, the technicals are bearing that out so far, barring any big developments. And there is no big economic news coming out in the short term. We've already had the Fed rate announcement. We're couple of weeks out, almost a month out from the next big wave of earnings. And now it's just individual, small reports and market sentiment and any breaking news. The SBB thing kind of came out of nowhere. Oh, we do have a report today, GDP quarter over quarter. So this is, the economy. Are we in recession, right? Forecast or the forecast was 2.7, came in at 2.6. We can call that pretty good. Unemployment was a surprise, came in a few ticks above. Forecast 196, came in at 198. That's pretty small deviation. So there it is. Quick overview. Again, looks like the next bull market from a technical basis. Good case for it to be starting. So we'll participate in that. And that's it for the market overview.